Trial is underway of the man accused of killing a Chattanooga woman in November of 2022. Jason Chen is accused of stabbing Jasmine Pace 60 times and then disposing of her body in a suitcase.
The state is seeking a first-degree murder conviction. Meanwhile, Chen's attorneys don't dispute that he killed Jasmine Pace, but they argue it was a case of voluntary manslaughter. Grayson Gordon has been in the courtroom throughout the trial. Grayson.
David Cindy, we just wrapped up for the day with our third witness. We had two investigators who on the case and a neighbor of Chen who turned in Ring doorbell footage to investigators. The neighbor tells us he had multiple neighborly interactions with Chen, and Chen is seen multiple times triggering the Ring camera as he walked by around the time of Jasmine's disappearance. The neighbor lived on the first floor next to an entrance to the complex. Aside from this, we've heard the defense's efforts to break down the integrity of the investigation. Chattanooga police investigators at Crawford was on the stand the majority of the day. Crawford says their main goal at first was just to find Jasmine.
Would you trespass into a building if you believed that someone was in danger in that building?
I risk my life to save someone else's.
The final witness we saw today is an investigator who found Jasmine's body near Suck Creek Road. Chattanooga Police Detective Stephen Bulkley says Chen's phone records help lead them to finding Jasmine's body. He walks us through where the body was found in a suitcase wrapped in a black trash bag. And we'll hear more from that investigator later tonight. And make sure to stay with us for updates on this case. Reporting live at the Hamilton County Courthouse, Grayson Gordon, Local 3 News.
Thank you, Grayson. Jason Chen's former roommate spoke with Local 3 about the accused murderer's past.
Ryan Barrett says Chen initially was someone he considered a friend, and out of nowhere, he says, he became mean, malicious, and manipulative. Local 3 Xavier Harris joins us now live after speaking with Barrett. Tell us what he told you about how they became roommates. Xavier?
Hey, Cindy, David. So initially, when they got their rooming plans at UTC, all of his friends, Ryan Barrett, all of his friends, they were set to have their rooms together and everything, but one of their friends backed out. So that's when they say UTC Housing placed Jason Chen inside of their dorm. Now, Barrett says initially their freshman year, everything was cool, which is why they moved to this apartment you see behind me here on top of Mr. Burrito Grill on MLK Boulevard. He says everything initially was fine. And then that's when things started to turn sour when they moved into this apartment, and he felt like he had to sleep with one eye open.
It just kind of became a situation that anytime I wasn't there, he was going to my room, going through my things. So a lot of arguments started delving from that.
Ryan Barrett, a graduate of UTC, says Jason Chen was someone he considered a friend. He says since freshman year, they would hang out just like brothers.
He was just kind of a quiet, pretty funny guy. Never really thought anything out of the too ordinary.
He says they even got jobs together at Buff City Soap in Hickson. And for the first couple of months, everything was okay. But after Barrett was promoted to manager, he says Chen's behavior changed.
Just kind of hiding in his room more, avoiding all of our friends.
But the tipping point of their friendship came when Barrett says Chen stole his phone and began posting from his social media accounts.
Going through all my accounts, kind of slandering my name on social media, through different work ventures, etc. along those lines, messaging people from my hometown, just hateful messages.
This is one of those posts. Barrett says instead of the Black Lives Matter motto in his bio, it was changed to a racial slur, which ultimately got him fired from his job.
But you'd never expect the person you've been living with for a year and a half and you're splitting rent to actually do all that things to you to try to hurt you like that.
And Barrett says Chen would avoid his questions when pressed on his actions.
We never got a true answer. We always asked him, he just kept saying, you guys are just fake.
He says living with Chen has greatly impacted him.
It still takes me a lot to even trust people these days because now I'm like, what are you doing behind my back?
Barrett says even given his experience, he says it's still shocking to see Chen in the courtroom where he's accused of murder.
At the end of the day, he did all those hurtful things to me, but I would never expect him to take the life of somebody's daughter.
Now, just 7 months after their lease ended here, Barrett tells me he found out that's when Chen was accused of stabbing Jasmine Pace at least 60 times. And he says after that, a week-long manhunt was on for Jason Chen. And he says he was horrified during that time because he didn't know if he would be next. Now, he says he's hoping now that Jason Chen is on trial, the jury will do what they have to do so that no other family or person will have to go through what Jasmine Pace's family is going through right now. We also reached out to Jason Chen's defense attorney to comment on any of these allegations that his former roommate alleged in this story. And at this time, he says they have no comment. Tonight, we're live in Hamilton County. I'm Xavier Harris, Local 3 News.
Xavier, thank you. And here's a live look at the timeline of the missing person case for Jasmine Pace. She was last seen alive, leaving her parents' house on November 22nd. 2 days later, she did not show up for Thanksgiving dinner. On November 27th, her mother found her car and reported her missing. Just 2 days after that, Chen was arrested in Nolensville, Tennessee. Pace's body was found December 1st off Suck Creek Road.
And we'll be covering this trial as it continues, including live streaming. Make sure to download the Local 3 app for live updates.